It's hard to believe that there was ever a time where this drum beat wasn't a part of music and culture. We're of course talking about the Amen break, which is a 4-bar break taken from the track Amen Brother by the Winstons and importantly played by Gregory C. Coleman. These 4 bars, played at roughly 1 minute and 25 seconds in, went on to become arguably the most iconic drum beat of all time. A drum beat that's gone on to birth multiple genres of music. And in order to play that groove, really you're playing an 8th note backbeat with your right hand up on the ride cymbal, kicks on the downbeat and the and of beat 1, and then the and the of beat 3, and then filling in ghost notes on the of 2 and 4, and the e of beat 3. 1 and 2 and a 3e and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3e and a 4 and a. When we get into the second 2 bars, he plays a variation on this groove, importantly displacing the snare drum on beat 4 to the and of beat 4, and adding in this crash on the ride cymbal on the and of beat 3 in the last bar. And I would say that learning this groove is a rite of passage for any drummer, regardless of what style of music you're really into. So let's give it a try. But the interesting thing is that when Amen Brother came out, it actually went under the radar and just stayed as a B-side on one of their singles. And it wasn't until 1986 where a producer called Breakbeat Lou released the sample pack Ultimate Breaks and Beats, which included a slowed down version of the Amen break for producers to make hip hop beats with. And this is where it gets exciting because that's exactly what they did. So you'll find the Amen break in so many different iconic hip hop tracks, whether that's NWA Straight Outta Compton, Lupe Fiasco Streets on Fire, I Desire by Salt and Pepper, or Pigs by Tyler the Creator.
Hated by everyone, that's the way it seems. I don't know what's shorter, his damn temper or my self-esteem.
And you can hear in each one of those tracks the Amen break has been manipulated in its own way, whether that's changing the tempo, adding samples over the top, or cutting it up so that it becomes an original groove again. But as well as hip hop producers slowing the Amen break down, on the other side, you have producers speeding the Amen break up, taking it from something that would work in funk and soul to something completely new, kicking off a genre called jungle.
31 seconds.
And this is where it gets really fun, man, because not only were producers speeding it up, but they're also putting it inside of samplers and chopping it up. So you end up taking components of the Amen break and rearranging them into different orders to create a completely new groove. One of my favorite examples of this is the Ganja Crew Super Sharp Shooter. If we look at the notation, you can see that the accents have moved around into different positions. For example, in bar 2, we've got snare accents on the downbeat of 2, the and of 3, and 4, whereas in bar 3, it's the downbeat of 2 and the and of 3, whilst keeping it classic with an accent on 2 and 4 in bar 1 and bar 4. So these snare drum displacements started to become quite a classic sound in jungle. And then you also get these little clusters of rapid ghost notes leading into accents, where little sections of the beat have been repeated inside of a sampler. So if I play it for you slow, the groove to Super Sharp Shooter is going to sound like this. And then typically jungle music would be produced in the 160 BPM range, so wish me luck as I speed it up. What a beast, mate. Honestly, that tune really reminds me of being a teenager. Now, if you want to learn to play jungle on the drum kit, one of the best things that you can put your time into is called a pull-out stroke. A pull-out stroke is essentially playing a ghost note followed by an accent played with the same stick. You will hear this sound all over the place in jungle breaks, and it is not easy. It takes a lot of practice to play it clean. I'd recommend just practicing right, left together, making sure the left is ghosted and then the together is accented. By the way, if you'd like to go deeper on ghost notes and pull-out strokes and breakbeat style playing, I've got a course all about this inside of my membership. It's also my goal this year that my membership offers the most one-on-one support out of any drumming membership on the internet. So if you'd like to take your playing to the next level and get one-on-one support from me, there's currently a 2-week free trial on offer, so you can get stuck straight in, try out the courses, the masterclasses, check out the support on offer. There's also live lessons, live guided practice sessions. It's all going off in there, man. Try it for 2 weeks, no obligation to stay after, you can cancel anytime. I'd just love you to give it a try, check it out and see if it's for you. Now, if you want a groove to really challenge your pull-out strokes, then one of my favorite jungle breaks is Lemon D, This Is LA. This groove is a goddamn beast, mate. Let's check out the notation. So if you have a look for the accent symbols on top of the snares, what you'll notice is that most of the time you've got a ghost note leading into the accent. Sometimes that might mean playing a right, left together, and sometimes it actually comes in from more single strokes before, so you get right, left together. There's also a lot of snare drum displacements and extra accents, which we talked about earlier. And again, you've got that iconic sound of a short little section of the break being repeated to create different phrases. So if I play the first 8 bars of the break for you nice and slow, it's gonna sound like this. And then cranking it up to full tempo is no joke, man. One tip that makes things a lot easier is I would recommend playing these breaks a lot quieter than you might originally think. Firstly, it makes it a lot easier to play those ghost notes into the accents at a fast tempo because your stick is already close to the surface. But secondly, if you think about the original Amen break that this is sampled from, Gregory Coleman was playing in a soul band, so he wasn't smashing the drums like a rock drummer, but instead he's laying back in the pocket and not hitting the drums too hard. So something about playing like that helps to keep the identity and the tone of the original groove. Bear in mind, of course, when you speed up a sample, the pitch of the drums is going to get higher, which is why you have that really high-pitched snare sound in jungle. But let's check this out at a fast tempo. Come on, mate. That is honestly so hard to play. So take your time and go nice and slow as you build up the tempo. Now, so far, we've talked a lot about how the drumming of Gregory C. Coleman has influenced producers. But this is where things start to get really crazy because now producers are getting more and more creative with the groove and chopping it up in so many different ways that now as drummers, we can actually start to take the inspiration back and not only do our best to learn their drum breaks, but also to take concepts out of their drum breaks to do our own thing with. So if we take a classic jungle tune like Babylon by Splash, a lot of the drumming in that is no longer technically possible to play note for note. So if you wanted to, you could do your best to learn as close as possible your own interpretation of it. But personally, what I like to do is just take out individual ideas or phrases and see if I can do my own thing with them. So what really stands out to me in Babylon is the samples of the accents on both the kick and snare just repeating over and over again. So you get these longer lines of just straight accents in a row. You also get these really quick sample repeats where it basically ends up sounding like a sampled version of a buzz stroke. Adding those two concepts in together into a groove feel that's already in that jungle kind of style instantly is going to inspire completely different ideas like this. And I honestly say, when working on stuff like that, you really can't go wrong as long as you know where the one is. Even if you do play phrases over the bar line, as long as you can resolve it again eventually by one, really anything is gonna go. Or another absolute banger that we could pull some ideas out of is Work by Sully. Jesus, mate, that groove is intense. So I've created my own version of how you could approach playing some of those phrases. So if we look at the notation, what I've personally written out is a main groove feel where you've got a kick accent on the downbeat of 1 and the and of 2, and then snare accents on the downbeat of 2, the and of 3, and the and of 4. But the thing that makes this groove really interesting is this little buzz stroke before the snare accent. 1 and 2 and 3 and buzz snare. In the second bar, you're just going to play right, left instead. Fortunately, that bit's a little bit easier. And then in bar 3 and 4, we've got this mad triplet phrase. Personally, I'm playing left, right, left, with the first 3 notes played as ghosts and the last one played as an accent. And then if that's not hard enough, that's going to go directly before our buzz stroke phrase from earlier, or again in the 4th bar before a single stroke roll. Now this is a phrase that even if I had all day, I would literally have never come up with, unless I'd listened to tracks like Sully Work and been inspired by them to see if I can recreate the groove in my own way. And that's what's so exciting, is it's drummers influencing producers and producers influencing drummers. So over time, the level just goes up and up and up. It's really endless. If I play this groove for you nice and slow, it's going to sound like this. And then wish me luck as I attempt to play it at the tempo of Sully Work. Now if jungle is like the amen break on steroids, then breakcore has got to be like the amen break on crack. Super fast, endless chopping, loads of glitching. Definitely not one for easy listening. Check out this tune by Venetian Snares. Such an insane groove and so much going on in there. So things that I'm going to pull out to incorporate in my own playing are firstly the pitch shifting on the snare drums, which by the way, jungle producers of course were already doing. And the way that I'm doing that is by playing 2 different snare drums. So one tuned high, one tuned slightly lower. And then the other thing that stands out to me is how pretty much every 16th note is accounted for. It's a really busy groove, it's relentless, there's not much space in there, so you can pretty much add in as many accents in a row as you'd like to give it that kind of glitch effect. Too much fun. Who wants to start a live breakcore band, mate? Count me in. And like many things in life, when one crowd go one way, so people pushing those breaks to the extreme in breakcore, then another crowd is going to go the other way, which leads us to drum and bass. Where the grooves that you'd associate with jungle actually become a bit more stripped back and played a little faster. So we can take the first 2 bars of the amen break like this, drop out 2 of the kicks so we're left with just kicks on beat 1 and the and of beat 3. And then often you can also drop out the ghost notes, although of course this is going to change depending on the track. So where jungle is typically produced in the 160 BPM range, drum and bass is typically more like in the 170s. So a track like Forsaken by Alex Perez is a perfect example of a straight down the line drum and bass beat. And of course, like any genre, then people are going to put their own spin on it. So whether that's going back to classics like Ronnie Size, Brown Paper Bag, Adam F's Circles, or something more modern like B-Cell Radio, you're going to find that each drum and bass track has its own little personal twist on the groove. Often with the production having a lot more mid-range bass, whereas jungle might typically be more focused on just stripped back drums and sub-bass. But from a drums perspective, drum and bass tends to have a more straightforward groove with less variation in comparison to jungle breaks. I'm sure if you've ever gone clubbing, especially in the UK, you would have heard a million amen breaks before. It's one of those grooves that turns up in so many different styles of music. Unfortunately, Gregory C. Coleman never actually received any royalty money for his playing on Amen Brother, even though it's probably got to be the most sampled drum beat of all time, which is absolutely insane, mate, but his legacy lives on in so many different grooves, so many different styles, and so many different places. So rest in peace, Gregory C. Coleman. If you'd like to get even more out of your Amen break, you can check out this video here, where I'll show you how to loop different sections of the Amen create different break beats. Warning, it's a really old video, so don't watch the production quality, but the information is still going to be relevant. And if you'd like to take your playing to the next level and get more out of your drumming and learn drums with me, then I'll put a link to my membership in the video description. There's currently a 2-week free trial on there, so you can check it out and see if it's for you. No obligation to stay, so I'll catch you over there.